Yeah, she's a little slow. Doesn't have good hands. I don't know. Doesn't look like she's good enough. Watch the ball behind you.
What's it like having her back here with the team?
It's great. I think she got in town this weekend, spent some time with the group, and having her here at practice. I mean, I think it's interesting for her to kind of come back and watch, and it's obviously anytime you have Sylvia Fowles in the building, it's always uplifting.
So how are you guys feeling going into this game against Seattle? Like obviously lower in the standings, but every game is a playoff game.
The lower in the standings is not, at this point, that's not even something that's a factor. I know it's something that, is written about, right? Because, that's where they currently are. They've won 5 out of 7 games. They're playing their best basketball of the season, going to Climate Pledge to play. I mean, it's certainly not something we kind of go, oh yeah. There's not a game that we can circle and say that's not a hard game for us. I mean, we're capable of winning every game, and we're capable of losing every game, right? So we've got to come with the right mindset. And frankly, we're not thinking about Seattle right now. We have this, unique schedule where we had rest time, and now we've got some good work time. And so we're really looking at, what do we need to do for the last stretch here of 10 games. We have to tweak some of our stuff that we're running to try to maximize. We've had some games of late where we offensively have really stalled. And so we're looking at some ways to improve, and then certainly defensively continue to put our mark on how we want to play.
It's such a weird timing to have a week off.
Yeah, Commissioner's Cup did that, and just the way. I mean, obviously other teams played up to Sunday, but the Commissioner's Cup is sort of the reason for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about tweaking stuff, I mean, is that like a self-scout that you do like at an all-star game break in terms of?
Yeah, anytime you get a period of time, as coaches, I know it's something I think about. What do I want to add? Because I got to get it in now, because you're not going to add along the way. So it's an opportunity to, like, if there was anything that maybe you didn't get to that you want to add, or maybe that you've seen from your personnel, that you go, hey, we've been running something, but this is probably better. And it's a great time. I've gone through, you go through all your, possessions of offense, and you try to, Maddie, our data scientist, is going to give us and Swanee going to give us our places that we're maybe need to seek out more, that are more efficient. And so it's a time to look at all those things and try to kind of get us pointed in a direction to play our best basketball.
If you look at her season stats, Fee is at about the foul rate she's always been at, 2.5, 2.6 fouls a game.
Yeah.
It seems to have ticked up in recent games. I know that the discussion of the officials is something we always kind of do, and we kvetch about. When you look at the film, especially the last couple of 3 games, has something changed with the way they're calling? Does she need to do better with her feet?
Well, it's a couple of things. There's, we give our players the analytics of the officials so they understand the crew. The last game, and when we tell them, hey, 2 out of 3 officials rank whatever out of 33 officials in foul calls, then they have to understand how the game's going to be officiated. Mm-hmm. So shame on you if you put yourself in that situation. You can't change. It's just like analytics of players. They're going to do what they do. You try to take some things away from them or whatever, but officials, that's their tendencies. That's what they do. So we have to be more intelligent about it. And I think Fee's been out of position. I think at this point, not taking chances. I mean, one of her fouls is we don't get a rebound. BC doesn't get a rebound. It ends up being a loose ball, and Fee fights for a loose ball and commits a foul. Right? It's the other fouls where she's out of position. That I think, we just got to be a little smarter. And we can't be late in our rotations. When you're late in your rotation, that's what happens. You're at risk for an official thinking you're out of position.
How important she is, 26 minutes isn't a good thing.
No, it's not. No, I mean, and Fee doesn't feel great about it. Obviously, she knows that she needs to be on the court, but. Like you said, foul rate's about the same. I think early in the season, she fouled out of a game early in the season. But I think for the better part of the season, she's
and she's getting calls because she's getting.
I was going to say, it's been okay for her. I think the last couple games,
just be more aware of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, be in better position,
right,
and understand the standing officiating crew.
43. Are you feeling just
I would have told
the
you.
final, the final quarter, or I guess third of the season?
Yeah,
How are
yeah.
you feeling?
Well, I mean, feeling like probably like every team. You know, we've gone through ups and downs through the course of the first 2/3, and I think we have a really good idea what our sweet spots are. I think you've played every team. So you're kind of in a place now where it's just execution. It's attention to detail and execution. The margin for winning and losing is very small, and so understanding those spaces that when you're on the court, if you don't want to go in and rebound that possession, the risk of us losing the possession is high. If you want to run into a screen versus fight your way through it, then the risk of that possession for us of losing it is high. So it's just those little things that, you're not trying to win the game. When you go out there, you're trying to win possessions. Winning possessions is what leads to winning the game. And so the focus that you need to win possessions is what our minds are on.